Hi, everybody. Welcome to our segment, Meet the Changemakers, and this is going to be episode 4. Today on panel, we have Virtually Verbal and the founders of Virtually Verbal. So, welcome Shinya, Aria, Arini, Tanishka, and Elin. Welcome, all of you. Uh, Before we start, so let's talk about how your organization really started and what really motivated you to um, start this initiative?
So it started during quarantine,
Uh-huh.
and I remember we hadn't started online school yet either. So we were all just staying at home and doing nothing. So I wanted to do something fun, and I knew basic French and German, and I was learning Spanish in school at the time. So
Okay.
I asked a couple of my cousins and friends if they wanted to learn, and they said yes. I had like I think 6 people who wanted to learn as well because they didn't have anything going on either.
Uh-huh.
So we sort of started like that, and they were the ones who suggested that I should like make this bigger. So I asked Elin, Arini, and Shinya if they wanted to join me, and they said yes. And then we made like our website, and then we reached out to a lot of people, and surprisingly, we got an overwhelming response. And then
Uh-huh.
later, we added Tanishka into our team as well.
That's nice. So what have you been able to achieve so far, like in terms of how big your organization has been since it's just been 1 year, right? About it's less than a year because it's roughly last year. So what have you been able to achieve so far?
Our organization has grown a lot in the past, short amount of time,
Huh?
and we right now have over 120 about students,
Uh-huh.
and they're all from around the world and from 13 different countries.
Oh, nice. So how do you coordinate between people who like live in different countries? Do you have your board members or something, or how does that all work out?
So our students choose a specific language that they want to teach,
Uh-huh.
and we assign tutors to each student. And it doesn't, I mean, since we're a virtual program, um, there isn't really a barrier to teach other than the time differences. So we
Yeah.
just meet on Zoom and we just communicate and teach on there.
Has it been difficult finding tutors in other countries, or you have been able to achieve it? I just want to know that when you like get people, is it easier for you, or you find it difficult finding people to teach?
So most of our tutors are in US and
Uh-huh.
they usually contact us first. Like I contacted Virtually Verbal as like a tutor and most of our tutors are from there.
Oh, okay. So like people contact you and then you kind of put them on your roster and then start assigning things. So this is like another just out of the thing question that what is it about languages that motivated you all to like start teaching? Like, why not other subjects, or why not something in STEM or something? What is it about languages that really motivates you people?
Um, well, I knew like basic languages, like all three, so I thought it would be helpful if people wanted to learn other languages as well. And I knew a couple of like organizations around me that were teaching subjects like STEM or like English and math and tutoring students like subjects from school. So I just wanted to try something different. And I knew it would be hard because you really need someone to teach you in person, like a language.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so we were just experimenting and it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, and with languages, I think there's a lot of preparation that goes in. Like I personally know a couple of languages, so I think there's a lot of preparation that goes in from a tutor's standpoint because you need to like have alphabets and then like sentences and grammar, and then it's just especially you said German. I take German, and I know how difficult grammar in German is. So where that's like it's commendable that you know a language so well that you're able to teach it to somebody else. So let's talk about COVID-19. And since you guys started in the quarantine period, how has COVID-19 either helped you positively or affected you negatively while you started, when you started your organization?
Yeah, so we started during quarantine, and I would say that it positively affected us. Well, it negatively affected us in terms of school, but in terms of virtually verbal, definitely positive, because I think because we had nothing else to do really, we wanted to do something and hang out with our friends in a way that also benefits people that might be across the world. So it also helped because we could work on communication more, I think, and we were able to really join forces in that way, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And how many languages do you guys teach? If you could, if somebody could list out the languages.
Yeah, so we started out with French, German, and Spanish. And now we offer 7 languages, so French, German, Spanish, Chinese, Latin, Korean, and Hindi.
Oh, that's super cool. Who teaches Chinese or Mandarin here? Do any of you teach that language? No?
So we're just we're just the management team, and we have a bunch more tutors outside of this team.
I was just wondering if anybody knew, because like a couple of friends of mine know it, and it's supposed to be super complicated. So yeah, moving on, each of you, I want this from each of you. Tell me about the most notable memory that you've had while being on board. Let's start with Elin.
I think that my first notable memory of that deals with virtually verbal is actually when we had a first student sign up for Spanish, and I conducted my first lesson with that student, because I mean, we obviously didn't expect this, I guess, so many responses from students to sign up for our programs and also for our courses. So when I saw the first student who signed up for Spanish, I was just so like ecstatic, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have a student and we can start our lessons. And I just have like a very like ingrained memory of me just teaching that student for the very first time and meeting them, and that was like a remarkable experience for me.
Yeah, of course. Let's go to Tanishka.
So mine was when I had my first joint class. So I had my class with a couple of students instead of just one-on-one tutoring. It was really amazing because I had a student from India and I had a student from Lebanon, and they were really great friends. And I think all of us just like bonded, and it was so much fun teaching, and it felt like they had a good experience learning.
Yeah, and I think with languages, there's also a chance of cultural exchange that can happen. This is not that you are teaching; it's also that you are learning at the same time, simultaneously. I think that's super cool. Let's go to Arini.
I had a similar notable experience, I guess. My first class, I was really nervous because I didn't know what to expect, and I hadn't tutored languages online before, and I was tutoring a sister and a brother, and they were from India, and the time difference was kind of confusing, and I didn't know how that would affect the class, but it turned out to be really fun. They were really great students, and I think that really motivated me to keep on tutoring. So it was a really good class.
Nice. Let's go to Shinya.
So I'm actually not a tutor in this organization. I'm basically the behind the scenes guy.
Yeah.
And so I just mostly organize all of the Zoom appointments and email new students. So my notable experience with this organization was trying to figure out how Zoom really worked, because in the beginning, Zoom was completely new to us, and we had to meet almost every week in the beginning, trying to figure out how this thing worked. and eventually we got it down, and now things are running smoothly.
Yeah, I think that was a challenge everybody faced, and just with how the whole video conferencing stuff works and everything is everybody was struggling with, and I think a lot of people even struggle right now, even with like how schools have gone remote, and there's this ongoing struggle all the time. Let's go to Aria.
I think my most notable memory is when I finished teaching my first German class. I had some students contact back to me through email, and they were like, "Thank you so much. It was very fun." And they were actually like keeping in contact with me even after the class, which I thought was very cool. And I feel like, especially now, we need like someone to socially interact with that's like not someone we see every day. So that was very personal, and I felt very grateful to be someone that they can just like talk to.
Yeah, I think just having somebody to reach out to, it's very liberating, and it's very reassuring that there's someone out there to just hear you out. And I'm sure you guys have made a ton of friends, new friends across the world now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the future goals of this organization. Anybody can just come in. Since I guess all of you are juniors in high school, is there any senior here? No? Yeah, so you still have 1 year. So after you graduate high school, or after like people leave or whatever happens, do you plan to continue this organization by like, getting some other people on, or what are the future goals?
Personally, I do want to continue being a part of this organization. I know it will be hard in college, but it's something we started as a group of friends, and I feel like if we continue that, not only can we be close, but we can also like increase our family of virtually verbal students. So I'm definitely going to try to stay with the organization.
Okay. And in terms of like, just maybe you guys won't be in the same state or whatever. Do you see any challenges that come your way?
Well, I think the main challenge is just like our like friend groups might change, and we might even like, I don't know, go to a different country. I'm not sure about that, but and also just like finding time again in college. Like some people might have very challenging courses and not enough time to like meet up every week and like talk to everyone.
Yeah, of course. So let's go to like, I really want to hear what your final message is to the listeners of this interview. Anybody can come in, your final thoughts on your organization, or in general, if there's any message that you want to give.
So I'm just generally so happy what this organization has become. I think we bring so many people together, especially like teaching and also being part of the tutors and being part of the students is really amazing. And just like a couple notifications, I guess. We opened our French course and our Korean course for new students. So we have a great Korean teacher that just came on our family. And yeah, we just have those courses open.
Nice. Anybody else? Any final thoughts or messages?
Also, just to, sorry for interrupting you, but also just to expound off of what Tanishka said about how she's very happy about all this growth we've been receiving, and also like how we can also, we're allowing students to just sign up right now, take our new courses. And I wanted to say like how, language is a very powerful barrier that can connect, not a barrier, but more like a bridge that can connect many different types of people all around the world, right? So I guess trying to go back to that question that you initially said about why we chose to teach languages instead of just going in a math directed course or science directed course, I think that language is something that unites everyone and can also allow other people to share their stories and experience some other perspectives that they don't want to do. So I think that with that in mind, you should definitely go register for our courses, stay connected with us on all our platforms, and just reach out to us because we'd be more than happy to have you along with our team. So just to shout us out a bit, our Instagram is virtually verbal. Our YouTube is also virtually verbal. Our Gmail is info@virtuallyverbal.com. And we have a Twitter called officially VV. So thank you.
I really hope you guys have more students and then there's more good things to come in your way. One thought that I personally take away is from what Elin said, how language can be both a barrier and can also be a bridge at the same time. I think it's a very nice thought to end this interview with. I've had a great time talking to all of you, and thank you so much for doing all the good work that you have been doing and contributing to our society. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.